I guess, well, as usual, shitty quality video, but I was gonna do a little. Actually, wait a minute. Hold up. I was gonna also say this. See these things? You know why I got this thing like that? Because I always break the chains that come with these damn things, man. They're weak. You know what I mean? Plus, I tore this one, so it's all hanging lopsided. But it makes for a good target, though. It moves around and shit, all weird. You know what I mean? Like, not where you want the bag to move, which is good for training because, you know, if you're really in a fight, you're trying to, you know, or whatever, you're trying to find your opponent. You know what I mean? Like, let me explain this real quick. Let me put this shitty phone camera. Actually, it's a good camera for a phone, but put it like right there, like that. What I was gonna say is like when you're sparring, say, you know what I mean? I mean, you're not trying to kill the guy you're sparring with, you know what I mean? If you hit him good, you're trying to compete with him. You're trying to get over on him, but you're not trying to hurt him. He's your, you know, your training partner, your buddy, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a real fight. But it is. It's close, you know what I mean? It's good practice for one. You know, somebody that doesn't do that shit, they'll be at a, you know, and make it as real as possible, you know what I mean? Like, when you do spar, you might, you know, go real hard, you know what I mean? Absolutely. But if you see your opponent got hurt, like, I stop, you know what I mean? Or if they, you know what I mean? If they tag me good, are you all right? You know what I mean? Right. Although I've never really been knocked out by anything. But I was going to say, I mean that. I'm not trying to brag. I mean it. Like, that's why I trained my neck to be so strong. Plus, jobs I've had made me real strong and all that. But besides the point, though, I'm going to kind of sit into these punches. And I don't know if you're familiar with boxing or MMA or whatever, but there's punches like when you're trying to find your opponent and establish your distance to where you can hit them, but they can't hit you, or where you're trapping their punches. You know what I mean? Like, you're establishing a range, you know, to where you can land your punches, you know what I mean, and footwork and all that, you know what I'm saying, trying to get them in a position you want your opponent in, you know. You're not trying to go for the knockout punch when you're doing that. I mean, you could, but you might waste your energy, you know. If they're good on their feet and you try to knock them out, you'll never be able to land one of those. Like these punches I'm about to throw, you know what I'm saying? It's for one, it's specifically once you established, or once they get tired maybe, or when you've established your distance and you know you can land it. Or when they telegraph something, you know what I mean? Like if they jab or if they throw a cross, maybe they step when they throw it, you know what I mean? Maybe they take a step forward every time they throw their cross. And you pick up that during a fight or even a sparring session. You know it's a telegraph, and you can set them up, and you know what I mean? You can counter them or something, or move a certain way or take an angle to catch them. Now I know it's this mumbo jumbo shit, like if you don't know, you know, about it, but I mean, I guess, you know, I'll talk about it a little bit. But yeah, these are 16-ounce gloves here, so you know, and a lot of times I train bare knuckle too on bags just to keep my, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get a fucking pair of gloves in a street fight. And that's where it really counts, because that's survival, man. That's survival 101. And plus, one thing a lot of people are stupid about is they say in a street fight, don't punch and keep your hands open. When they start throwing their punches, you'll jam your fingers. You know what I mean? Like, and then what, the fight's going to be out of you. Once they break your fingers, when they throw a punch that jams inward, absolutely, man. Yeah. Well, anyways, let me wrap these a little tight. They're old gloves, man. Right here we go. But anyways, here goes nothing. There they go, those fucking things. Hate that shit. Yeah, sit into them. But those are the hard ones.